Each of you and all the crew and everyone involved with what just happened is escorted into the city through the narrow winding paths where the buildings all seem a little too close together, but far enough apart for rows and rows of soldiers adorned in red with fresh armor and shimmering swords, all seemingly just out of the factory. To escort you all to the holding cells, you descend down a staircase at the back of the building, where it seems tables and tables of guards are sat around, not with drink or food in hand. They seem to be waiting for their orders. But you pass them and you descend below the ground, underneath the city that you've just come to discover. And each of you, in turn, is placed in a holding cell, not aggressively or without, sympathy. Unblindfold.
The map's covered.
Thank
It
you.
is.
Kaji, how are your wounds?
Not too bad. I don't have anything serious or anything really physical, but Varus, I'm tired.
Oh, I don't blame you.
It's been one thing after another.
Not too sure how long we'll be in here, so feel free to take a seat. I'll watch over you as I kind of glance towards this jester-looking character.
This gentleman with his big bendy mustache and candelabras built into his helmet is extremely, as you described it, jester looking, but just very whimsical, puffy arms and big brown gloves, undirtied clothes. And he looks at you and he grabs his finger and he starts basically massaging his chin with the point of his index finger, and he looks at both of you and he says, I hope the cell is not too cramped with all the three of us in here.
It's fine.
What are you in for, if I might ask?
Questioning.
Questioning. We're new here, and we seem to have misplaced our papers.
There was a scuffle at the dock.
Scuffle at the dock? You were in the scuffle?
Yes, we
Allegedly.
were. What might you be in for?
Oh, it's a little bit of an embarrassing story. I'm Solarian, so I'm not really used to the temperatures down here. So what I did was, I'm staying in this tavern, right? And the rules are, I don't see why a man can't undress on his balcony. I mean, I paid for the room.
Okay.
I completely ignore that last comment and I ask him, "You're Solarian?"
I?
I didn't.
Are you a Solarian as well?
I hesitantly answer, "Yes." But I haven't been to country in a very long time.
I don't blame you. I left too. The conflict, it's just, I don't know. I don't really think anyone of them politicians has a real claim to the throne after all that's happened. Yet all of them seem to insist on bickering about it.
Yeah. Those bastard nobles. I'm not surprised that. Well, I'm not surprised they would try to claim the throne after Her Majesty's death.
Which majesty are you talking about? Everyone in the last decade's been assassinated.
The last good one. But never mind that.
When you say that, he was sort of dismissing you. His question, you get the impression, was almost rhetorical. Which one are you talking about? He was more interested in making a statement about how many there have been to sort of further the narrative that Solaria is this unstable place. But when you say the last good one, as he starts to turn away, he stops what he's doing and he looks back at you, and there's this knowing look in his eyes. You're talking about Queen Bright?
Yeah, I'm talking about Queen Bright.
Oh, what an age that was.
Yeah. And everything seemed like the world was hopeful, full of life, and now it's just, well, that facade is gone.
He slumps into the corner. Varus, give me an insight roll if you want to be able to deduce whether or not he's a dangerous person.
10 and let's see, I don't know if I have any insights +2, so 12.
In the short time that you've interacted with this man and the way he carries himself, you believe his story that he was arrested for some sort of public indecency, and he does not seem like a threat to you or Kaji. He has been rather welcoming, actually.
Okay. Akaji, I'm gonna see if maybe I can get us, or even just myself, in with a cell with Guyven. Maybe
Of
sort some of
course.
this stuff out.
I'm gonna try to rest for a bit.
Aye. Hey, guard.
Before you do that, what's everybody else up to?
I'll ask him. I'll do something. Hey, sir, I recognize you. I think that.
You see the Dragonborn in the corner. He is leaning against the wall, looking rather shaken up. He has his arms crossed, and he side eyes you with his one working eye. You can see he's wearing an eye patch and he's got the cloak. Yeah, Captain Clickhand.
Captain, can they captain? Captain is captain of a ship.
Not anymore, I suppose. And you would know, Fish Boy, that this is the captain of the ship that Mayanzel was chartering with. The one that apparently went down in flames due to the pyromancer.
Yes, that is unfortunate. I'm sorry. I had a question for you though.
Yeah. What is it?
That thing. I don't know how to describe it. You were carrying a thing when you came out. It was like red, and I think it was scaly. What is it?
He looks over at this gentleman in the corner, who is just shrunk up small, sitting in the corner, like almost fetal position, just staring at the floor. Clicking seems to clock him, and in a moment of deduction, decides that he's not someone that he needs to care about saying something wrong in front of. Clicking pushes off the wall, and he steps up a little bit closer to you. And he says very quietly, "That was everything I've worked my life for. And now it's in the hands of the enemy."
Well, I'll help you get it back if you tell me what is it exactly.
Why would you do that for me? I don't know you.
I'm a curious man. Curiosity drives me. And at the end, I live life on the edge.
I think at this point, Tyriel's walked over to the edge. And how much of this conversation can I hear?
You might have heard, if you were intent on listening, you would have heard Fishboy ask what it was that the Dragonborn was holding.
Did I hear
But
his life on the edge part?
That's up to you, Marco. When the Dragonborn stepped closer to you, he entered into a hushed conversation just between the two of you. Would you
Yes,
have joined him in that, or would you?
Yes, I replicated that, and I was hushing.
Yeah, I don't think you would have been able to hear that
Okay.
material. But if you'd like to interrupt their conversation, you're welcome.
I still think just listening to them and watching them, I like poke my head slightly out of the cell and look at him and go, "Don't do anything stupid, kid."
The captain looks past you, Fishboy, at Tyrael when she says that, and looks back at you.
Don't mind him. I just met the guy. I think it's a guy.
I am a
Does Fishboy say
attractive
that?
female. Just
I'll be hushed when I say that. Just for his ears.
Tyrael, you would see a look of extreme, like, inquisitiveness. Like, suddenly something that Fishboy has said has caused the captain to look you up and down with extreme curiosity. But then he turns back. You might want to listen to your mother there. This is some serious shit. You can see that they want me dead.
Don't worry, Captain. I've heard a few things or two, and that's not my mother. We are not related at all. I mean, just look at me.
That there that we brought down from Solaria, that there's a dragon egg.
Dragon egg, like alive?
I think it is. I mean, I think it is. It could just be, like, I stole it, and it definitely looks and feels like a dragon egg. And if it is, and I got a contact down here in Needlepoint that's gonna be able to tell me whether or not it is a dragon egg.
Now, when you say dragon
What
egg,
if
do you
it
mean
is?
like do you mean like a dragonborn like yourself, or like those big dragon?
No, I'm talking about the ancestors. And he stretches out his arms, and like his arms take the shape of wings.
The ancestors. Yeah, I'm definitely helping you find that egg. That egg is ours.
And if I can get my hands on a dragon, there would be substantial reward in it for you if you were to help me.
Oh yes, I like the sound of that. No, I mean I don't have much better to do other than find this archmage. So I mean, yes, I'll keep this egg in mind for our benefit. I'll wink at him.
He shows you his teeth with a bit of a mischievous grin, and then we're going to Wilbin. Haven't heard from you yet. What are you doing?
I sort of look at this frog almost in reminiscence of someone we saw on the island. And who are you?
This little frog man, the entire time that even since you were escorted into the cell, he has been standing a short distance away from the bars, and he's been waving this what appears to be a stick with a leaf tied to the end. He's been sort of like swishing it side to side at the bars, and he's just been standing there doing that. But when you speak to him, he doesn't stop the movement of his arms, and he just says without looking at you,
I'm practicing magic.
Oh, I just sit down.
you sit, and he continues to wave his leaf at the bars. Anyone else want to do anything before we... Or, Mindzel, what are you doing?
I'm just chilling, doing my time.
Just chilling? Mindzel, you are sharing a cell with another little green fellow, but it's not a grung like Wilbin. It is a goblin adorned in flowy robes that seem to have been hand-stitched. And he's wearing a crown that seems to be out of like poorly smelted metal. And he's grabbing the bars and he's shaking them and he's saying,
Let me go, or you will all pay when I pave these streets with blood.
the
Yeah, I think
guards
I-
outside that are... No, I was just going to say that the guards outside are totally ignoring him. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say I'm just gonna totally ignore him.
You join the crew of people who are ignoring this little goblin. Varus, you may now get the attention of the guard.
Guard, come here a moment.
He's walking in, and you catch his attention, and he steps up to the bars.
While being escorted here, the man in charge, the one that had the swords on his back, he said me and my companions could have a moment with the archmage in the cell.
When you say that, he turns and he looks directly at Wilbin. And then he sort of just walks away. Oh, you.
Yes.
You're the Archmage's apprentice?
Of course.
He wishes to speak with you.
I wish to go
And
there.
the Sunrise Rebel. He opens the cell.
Does this frogman do anything?
You notice that when the door opens, he stops waving his makeshift wand, and he gives this sort of like annoyed look.
I step past him and step out.
You step out, the Sunrise Rebel closes the gate, and the little frog, he goes back into focus, starts waving his wand again. You want to take this gentleman with you?
Are you you're talking about Varus?
He is.
Yes.
How many of them are going?
Me and the pyromancer behind me.
This gentleman steps up and he's like, "Ah, yes, I would also like to go."
He will not be coming with us.
Sorry, yeah. And the other one.
For a moment, he looks at you with pleading eyes, Kaji, fellow Solarian.
I'm sorry, Sylvester. This is a matter that I don't even understand. We'll still be this, though.
He steps back. Sunrise Rebel opens the bars. All right, come on.
We'll try to find a way to talk with the Archmage to get you out of here.
Yeah.
And I walk away.
Good day, Sylvester.
The bars. It's behind you, Kaji.
I think I'm lagging. Is that just me, or is that...
No, it's everybody.
Okay.
Carson's
Sunrise Rebel comes over, opens the bars.
No.
He closes it behind you. You guys
Did
can
I
hear me?
color guard over?
Yep, I hear you. I can hear you fine, it's just moving anything on the board is taking a lot of effort.
The soldier closes the cell, and Guyvin is sitting quietly on the bench in the corner, with his arms crossed.
I'm gonna sit on this bench, kind of.
I'm still slumped against the wall.
And then I think Marco
Trying to
wanted
rest
do
a little
something, so I would wait.
I kind of coldly stare at Guyvin.
Do the three of you want to allow Marco to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep,
Sure.
that's right.
Okay. How do you get the guard's attention, Marco?
I'll bang against the wall or the chain of my cutlass or whatever.
You don't have your cutlass, but you can just bang against the
Yeah, I'll just
bars.
bang against the chain.
For a second, when you start banging, you notice the guard that you're trying to call, who's standing right around the corner. He hears the excessive noise, and he looks first to the goblin sharing the cell with Mainzel, as if expecting to see him bang on the bars. But is surprised to see that it's someone else, and he goes walking over.
Oh, sir, thank you. I would like a quick word with you. I believe I believe we're in danger. Yes, hello, sir. I just want a quick word. I mean, I believe we're in danger here. See, me and my friend, we came here with a certain object that it seems about. It's like red and round. It looks like an egg, but it is not. It's a powerful object, and it has been an incantation over it. And if I don't protect it with my own incantation, it may as well explode and take us all with us.
Fish boy, make a deception roll.
Deception, not persuasion. Let me check out here. I got 19.
19. The soldier, his expression is invisible underneath his helmet. His body language becomes stiff. There is a magical object that will explode.
Yes, it's a matter of great urgency. It's round. It looks kind of like an egg. It is not. You have to bring it to me as soon as possible. I fear we don't have much time left.
If anyone is qualified to handle this, it's the Archmage. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
No. It's the wrong incantation could make it explode, sir. You don't understand. If he puts a wrong incantation, it'll.
You three in the cell. What would you like to? How would you like to start the conversation with Gavin?
Seems we have a lot to discuss, Guyvan.
How did you get here?
How are you alive?
I could ask the two of you the very same. His eyes flicker from Varus to Kaji.
Well,
And then when he looks at Wilbin, he says, "But you are a much more confusing matter."
Explain.
As of this morning, we spoke, and his eyes are trained on you, Wilbin. We spoke about the completion of your apprentice training, but I sense that you and I did not have that conversation. Did we?
We did not.
I don't understand how, which is not something I'm keen to admit. I don't understand exactly how, but you three, you aren't meant to be here, that much I know.
And who says you are?
Because I am not the foreigner here. I sensed it on you the moment I arrived at the dock. The three of you have traveled here from very far away.
You mean the island? Maybe something past that.
I don't mean distance. I mean you. You have escaped death itself, it seems.
what do you mean by we have escaped death? To our knowledge, we have experienced things on an island, Boggs Island, and to what we know, you were the one who died.
Ivan stands up. You do not need to tell me about Boggs Island, for I was there. Wilbin and I were the only two survivors of what occurred there. Together, Wilbin and I broke the curse that was keeping everyone on the island, and we were able to escape. I took you on as my apprentice.
Did you use the chest?
I did not. You insisted that you would be the one to use it.
This is all too much to try to make sense of.
How long have I been your apprentice?
Coming up on 3 full years. You were about to complete your training. I was prepared to hand off the College of the Mystic Arts to you as I ascended to my duties with the Harbor Master, but you... How did you get here?
We defeated you, and the three of us came across the chest. I used the wish, and was transported here.
You defeated me.
Correct.
When he mutters that to himself, Varus kind of, while still sitting, almost goes a little on the defensive, as if ready for an attack or something.
I don't understand, Wilbin. You are one of us. You and I, we are destined.
You turned against us. We're selfish.
Makes two of you, don't it?
Ivan looks at Kaji. Looks back at you, Wilbur. Well, whoever it is that you have a problem with, it certainly is not me. If the events you're describing have transpired. That version of me is dead. The version of you, however, that I spoke to this morning, that's a matter much more complicated. Did you do something to the Wilbin I've come to know?
I've never seen that Wilbin.
Curious. Well, Gavin looks at you, Varus. I have no interest in settling any scores. As far as I'm concerned, we have much bigger problems to deal with. He hooks his head to the right, sort of gesturing beyond the bars at all the soldiers sort of wandering about. And especially this one who is extremely excited to report something to the rest of the soldiers.
Yes, we should probably figure out what's going on here and how to get ourselves out of this mess. But it's also important for us to discuss our life here. Seems as though we're almost from different worlds or a different realm or something.
I could sense it when we got here. At the very least, the rules of Arcana are different.
We earned our place in this world after everything we went through.
I'm not sure about that. Sounds like you took over someone else's life.
Ivan seems to be internalizing what you guys are saying to each other, trying to subtly understand the dynamic between the three of you.
Gavin, might there be any research you've done about parallel worlds or anything of the sort?
I can't say it's occupied any of my studies in the past 3 years. I could look in Wilbin's journals. He has been keeping very quiet from me his personal project as part of his training. Gavin steps over to the bars and he looks out. It is disappointing to be left without an apprentice.
I'm standing right here.
He swivels. Do you mean to suggest that you wish to undergo the training to become an archmage?
I do. Though I may not know what happened to that Wilbin, I am Wilbin. I can do just as well as he did.
Evan scratches his beard. It would be the best way for you to send your companions, friends, to look into sending them to some semblance of home, if that is what they want. And he cocks an eyebrow and he looks at the two of you.
Well, we're unsure if what we lived through is still existing.
Could this not be our home?
I'm not sure. I don't think we belong here. Before I do any, I'm going to find answers. But before I do any of that, Gavin.
Yes.
You appear to not be the same Gavin that we dealt with. The rules of Arcana are different here. I was wondering if it'd be possible you could introduce me to them.
I suppose it's... If you're willing to become a student of the College of the Mystic Arts, I could teach you the basics. I'm sure my apprentice could take it from there. And he looks down at you, Woven.
Our magic that I use doesn't seem to work here.
We will address that when we get out of here, which should be soon. I hold some influence here. Doing favors for the harbor master gets you somewhere. Oh, I suppose. And he turns over, but his sentence is interrupted by the approaching soldier. Archmage. We have a situation. The blue gentleman seemed to suggest that, and he points over to at the center of the table. As he points simultaneously, all these soldiers just back away, one big step away from the table. It seemed to suggest some kind of arcane explosive. Well, very well, bring it here. The soldier moves extremely slowly with it. Holds it out. He actually opens the door and offers it to Guyvan, who picks it up. He holds a hand out over it. Consider this your first lesson. What do you suppose this is?
An egg of some sort?
I'm not just asking you to make an observation with your eyes. Make an observation with your strength. And Guyvan raises a hand and hovers it over the egg and nods for you to do the same.
I follow.
Make an Arcana roll, Wilbin.
Give me a moment. Let me check what the plus is. 8 plus 5, 13.
13. You are hesitant because you're unfamiliar with the way that magic flows through your body is different. It feels less like you're making an exchange with the world. Before, when you were casting spells on the island, you were sacrificing sort of like parts of yourself to produce magic, to become almost like a conduit of magic. But now magic feels more like something at the end of your fingertips, something tangible. It just requires some concentration. It's not coming from you anymore. You're bringing it out of the world around you. So you're able to sort of get this grasp on magic for the first time since you arrived. And though your diagnosis isn't confident and it's not clear and it doesn't give you concise answers, you do feel a presence, almost like a heartbeat. Magic itself emanating from whatever this is. This is a living and very magical object.
It's alive.
Quite right, it's an egg, and judging by the scaling on the side, it is of Solarian origin. Meaning it could be a wyvern, it could be an oversized lizard, but by all accounts, it is an unhatched dragon.
Solarian, you say?
Gavin nods, and he hands the egg back through the bars, and the guy seems somehow even more scared to hold it.
Plus, do you know anything of these eggs, these dragons?
Carson, question.
Yes, sir.
So, this is where I'm gonna ask how history works. 'Cause history is like my knowledge of like, of course, history. But would I be able to like make a history roll and then know, like, understand stuff about like the I guess the different species of dragons found in Solaria? Is that how that works?
If we're talking about species of dragons, that would probably land more in the nature side of things. But you can, history is more like you can attempt to pull from your experience what is the nature of dragons in Solaria, what is the nature of this object, and what's its historical presence, and that would be a history roll.
Okay.
Would I have seen the egg, like at all?
I
Like
think
when I was up on
everyone
the
would have gotten a
boat.
glimpse of it.
Can I make a nature roll to see if I understand what it is or what type of dragon it is?
Well, I first want to see if Eli was going to make a roll.
Yeah.
Because he seemed to be suggesting.
Sorry. I was wondering if I
go
could
ahead.
make like a history roll to like understand, I guess, the significance of a dragon egg being here, and like historically, like what happened to dragons. where they're
Given the fact that you yourself are Solarian, make a history roll with advantage.
Nice. So it'd be a 17, then I have a what is it? Plus, what do I have in history? I have a +4 in history, so that'd be like 21.
So what was it?
I have a +4 in history, and I got a 17 as my higher one.
Oh, okay, so that's the 21.
Unnatural, right?
Well,
Unnatural.
The natural and unnatural only applies to 1s and 20s.
Got it.
Okay.
Kaji, you, the significance of the dragon in Solaria is well significant. Dragons are widely worshipped by Solarians. They're widely respected, and they're also that respect comes from not only admiration, because the Solarian pyromancers are said to have crafted their practice through mimicking the dragons, and even in the cases of the most legendary figures of Solarian history, taming and working alongside dragons to defend Solaria from invading forces, especially ones in the Seated Peaks. It is that respect also comes from a place of extreme fear, and knowing that dragons are perhaps the most dangerous and unpredictable creatures known to live.
Interesting.
So, in the wrong hands, you understand that this object could be devastating.
Gotcha. What did Isaiah? What was your question again?
Do you know anything about this egg and these dragons being from Solaria yourself?
Yes, a dragon egg being here is, well, it's if that thing hatches, it's gonna be a whole lot of pain for a whole lot of people. Dragon eggs are worshipped in Solaria for a really good reason. Not only are they destructive, but very few have been able to tame them. Anybody thinking they could here is in for a nasty surprise.
That egg, Ivan. What is it doing here?
I haven't the faintest clue. could belong to the captain of the ship that went down, or perhaps he was transporting it for someone in the city, but I can't see how. It's likely we'll never see it again.
Why do you say that exactly?
Well, the
Are they-
Sunrise Rebels are likely to take it into their possession.
And you're not concerned at all?
Concerned on a. I don't. I don't suspect that the dragon egg will remain here. If it's been seen by as many people as us and anyone else who we were traveling through the city with, whoever owns it, the rightful owner will come to claim it, or the Sunrise Rebels will keep it for themselves. And sometimes dragon eggs don't hatch for decades, and who's to say it will even be intended to? It could just end up on a mantle somewhere, and in those conditions, the dragon will die.
That sounds like a lot of assumptions to me.
Yes, well, the alternative is picking a fight with the army occupying this territory, which allows us to stay here and operate the College of the Mystic Arts. If you'd like to argue with the Sunrise Rebels, you might as well get back on whatever ship you took to get here.
I guess it doesn't seem like too big of a deal as long as they don't try hatching it. I guess we should probably figure out our way out of here. You said you had a relatively respected position.
Yes, I have made allies among the stratocracy, so I suppose if we all just relax, we'll be out of here in no time.
We're not too familiar with the customs of this world, seeing our situation. So would you be able to cover for us?
I would be willing to offer you, to extend you this favor. Under the condition that you all agree to be nothing but honest with me, as I will provide you with the answers you need. I will provide you with a place to stay in the city. If you don't wish to stay, that's fine. I'll even provide you a map. Whatever it is you need, I will provide it for you. But you must promise to be nothing but honest with me and not ruin the college that I have so hardly worked to preserve.
I agree.
Well, seeing as we have much to learn, both arcana-wise and just in terms of familiarizing ourselves with this land, we must agree with these terms.
I reluctantly say, sure. I agree.
Very well. You gentlemen getting along in here? Gavin
Of
nods,
course.
but he looks to the rest of you.
Of course.
I
I
just
give a
look,
thumbs up.
look at him.
So from what we've gathered, you three gentlemen were not aboard either of the vessels that were in the port. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Yep.
We can't find any witnesses that place you there. So why were you at the port? Why did you get involved?
I was teaching Kaji and Varus here when we were alerted a danger at the port. We went down to save as many lives or help out in any way we could.
Oh, these are your new acolytes.
Of course.
Yes. The college is finally opening itself up to students. Oh, wonderful. Barrett bites his lip for a second and then, well, Archmage, we're sorry for having to do this, but we're going to need to hold on to the rest of the crew, especially the ones that came from the Solarian ship, because there's a bit of a confusion about the object they were traveling with. We found documentation that their ship left Solaria, in particular Dracoscoma, and was headed for Needlepoint, but there was nothing in the documentation about an egg. So we're suspecting something. We're suspecting smugglers. But you four are free to go if you're ready.
Oh, we are.
I wasn't interrupting, was I?
No.
From what I understand, there are some more students here that were involved in the event, and my apprentice Wilbin will be collecting them before we leave.
I nod my
And
head.
Barrett is a power that Ivan is exerting. I think I lagged there. Can you guys hear me?
Sec.
Repeat what you said?
You want to repeat that? Yeah.
What was the last thing you heard?
Just repeat what Gavin said about the power. What the power he has on something.
Oh, Barrett looks a little bit concerned about the amount of power that Guyvin is waving around here in the prison over him, but he tentatively nods to you, Wilbin, and says, "I'm going to accompany you, but yes, you can collect the rest of your students."
I walk out.
As we're walking out, I kind of whisper to Wilbin, the first cage, the one that we were in, with the gesture-looking man. Grab him too while you're at it. And then I follow Gavin.
Soldiers are watching you, and Guyvin is waiting here at this doorway. So if you guys want to wait with the Guyvin or go with Wilbin, either way is fine.
I follow Wilbin.
I stop here, and I look at the creature inside. You, come with me.
Okay. I'll go with him.
And me too. Ooh,
No, no.
me,
no,
I'm
no.
the
Not you.
king of Alcatora. I will give you riches beyond you can ever imagine.
He makes a
I
good
don't-
argument. He makes a good argument.
I don't need any of those.
You're able to get out of the cell, Mainzel. Barrett will open it for you, and the goblin will try to escape underneath your legs, and Barrett will just kick the bars to startle him. Then he'll close the door.
gonna point at the frog-looking thing and ask to bring him out as well.
What does Wilbin say?
Will you be joining us?
Join you where?
In the castle.
In a castle.
It's a simple yes or no.
I will join you as soon as my spell opens this door.
And he starts shaking his wand at the door again.
I laugh and just move on.
Barrett Justice seems to misunderstand, and he goes over and he pulls the door open, and you see the little frog. He goes,
Finally, my magic has worked.
and he comes plopping out.
I look at Tyrael here. You're at the dock with us. Do you wish to get out of here?
Well, of course.
I look at Barrett and kind of motion to let Tyrael out.
And who might you be?
Wilbin. I'm the apprentice under the Archmage here.
You're the apprentice under the Archmage of Needlepoint?
That would be correct.
Excellent.
Glorp kind of like tugs at your robes, Tyrael, and whispers up to you.
If you could put in a good word for me, I'm not sure if you're still willing to honor our agreement in Bannerton.
I turn back to Barrett and say, when can the old lady get out?
Oh, is Tyrael talking to Wilbin or to
No,
Barrett?
to Barrett.
Oh, Barrett, he seems a little bit disoriented by everything that's happening. It's kind of like a circus in here. He looks to you, Tyrael. You were on Spitsong's ship, right?
Correct.
Spitsong had some sort of deal. I'd like to hold anyone that's not necessary for the college here just for further questioning. But if the Archmage wills it, I suppose both of you can go. He looks at you, Wilbin.
I turn back to Glorp and say, they're going to hold you here for a little bit longer and ask you a few questions, but they should let you out as long as you're not hiding anything and there's no problems.
Barrett, do you need Tyrael for further questioning?
He shakes his head.
As a yes?
No, shakes his head no.
Okay.
And he opens the door. Galorp looks up at you with a disappointment, but nods solemnly, Tyrael. And she just says,
Just promise me you won't forget about me in here.
I'll inquire about your whereabouts once I get out and get access to someone who might know.
she nods. Barrett will close the cell door behind you.
I try to stop Willem before he leaves. I grab his shoulder.
Yes?
You, forgetting something?
I don't think I am.
I'm pretty sure Varus told you to help us with Sylvester.
Why would we need to bring him along?
Because we asked. politely.
Does he have any importance?
I don't think his crime was that bad to keep him in a cell for longer.
I don't want to push our luck here already. I think it's best we move on.
I look over to the kid and go, I think it's probably better that you stay in here.
Stay in here. Why so?
Because I don't really want to deal with you, if I'm being honest. And your father asked me to take care of you, and I feel like locked in prison is the best place for you. Goodbye.
Locked in prison with these criminals?
And I completely ignore anything else that he says and turns around and continues
When
walking forward.
Tyrael says goodbye to you, Fish Boy, she walks away, and as she does, this little frog guy is now in your line of sight, and he just like lifts one little green hand. Like he seems like he's wearing like small oven mitts almost that are too big for him, and he just gives you like a very slow wave, and he says,
Yes, goodbye.
and then he just starts following Tyrael, like follow the leader.
I love him.
I'm gonna try to move
Barrett
past.
looks at you. He says, "Oh, okay. Well, before we continue the Kaji and Wilbin thing, Barrett will look at you, Fish Boy, and just say, "Tough luck, kid." And then a hand will land on your shoulder, Fish Boy. It's the captain, and he says, "Don't you worry. You stick around with me. We'll get that egg, and we'll get out of here within the next week, probably."
Good. I want to stay with that lady, dude, whatever. The farther, the merrier.
All right. Everyone is making their way to the hallway. Mayan Zell, are you following Wilbin as well?
Yeah.
And Kaji, Wilbin is attempting to get past you. Will you let him?
I let him go, but I don't look at him. I like to keep staring forward.
And I walk past.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Are we all going there?
Am I gonna get kicked in?
Oh, my shit's laggy.
You getting timed out?
I'm on top of you.
Oh god.
Hey, Carson's
Oh.
moving frog.
I try to stop Kaji before he get like as Wilbin's walking past, sort of the same thing.
Okay.
Hello? You good, Carson?
Go ahead, Alex.
I said I'm gonna try to stop Kaji when he's like right around here, like right after Wilbin passes him. Like to do the same sort of like hand on shoulder interaction that he did to Wilbin.
Okay.
And I does Kaji like stop
Yeah.
for a second? I look at him and say, "This is supposed to be the apprentice of the Archmage? So far, all I've seen is him fail a spell and then get strangled and drop into the water."
I kind of like make like a very like slight chuckle at that, and then I answer, "It's a long story. I'm sure at some point we'll talk about it."
Fair enough. And then I continue forward.
A long and confusing story it is. But now, our party, minus the poor fish boy, are all finally on their way to the College of the Mystic Arts.